So let's talk about intention setting and its importance to your spiritual practice and when you're working with nature or the natural world. Intention setting is by far one of the most important things that you can do when you are building a connection with spirit or working with spirit, regardless if you feel like you're a novice, a pro, wherever you are. Setting your intention is something that you always want to remember to do. So, we're going to talk about why this is an important part of your spiritual practice, as well as some times where you can set intentions that you may have never thought about before, but where it could be so helpful. So, what exactly is intention setting? Intention setting is just essentially setting a goal, stating what you want, what your expectation is, what you hope to accomplish. And we're all familiar with setting an intention or setting a goal. I'm doing this because I want that. I'm doing this in hopes of achieving this. So that part of attention setting, I'm sure you guys got. But let's look at it in connection to the spirit world and the natural world. So if you don't know what I mean when I say the spiritual world, I literally mean when you are working with spirit, when you're working with God, when you're working with your spirit guides, when you're working with your ancestors. If you practice magic or spell work, that's the spiritual world. When I talk about nature and the natural world, I mean literally working with nature and nature spirit. Similar with spirit and nature is that they're already working, they're already in flow. They don't necessarily need to be told what to do. They already got a system that is literally as old as time on what they're doing and how they're doing it. You don't have to necessarily tell water to cleanse. Water is cleansing. So that part again is self-explanatory, but the reason why you do want to set an intention is now what you're doing is you are going to spirit or collaborating with spirit or going to the energies of nature, and you're saying, hey, I'm showing up here because I know that you can help and support me with this, but here is exactly what I'm hoping to get out of this interaction. Here is exactly the type of blessing or opportunity that I am looking for in connecting with you. By setting your intention, you are getting really clear within yourself on what you're hoping to accomplish, but you're also letting spirit and or nature know how it can collaborate or conspire with you to help you get to your end goal. And you may say, like, well, why is this necessary? Like, spirit just knows, nature is just going to do its thing. So I want you to look at it like this. Setting an intention is like getting on a bus and knowing where you want to go or the direction that you're heading versus just hopping on any bus and letting it take you to wherever it's going to end up. You're getting on this bus and you know without a doubt it is going to take you to the beach versus just showing up at the bus station and like, okay, all of these buses are going to go somewhere. I'm just going to hop on a bus and I'm going to let it take me wherever it goes. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. However, you will save a lot of time, energy, and even money knowing exactly where you want to go and making the right choice and decision and the quickest and taking the quickest route to get you to where you want to go. Similar with setting your intentions. If you do not set an intention, you're going to get whatever spirit or the nature energy wants to give you, right? So if you are, taking a plant medicine or something and you have a headache and you take a plant medicine that helps you with headaches, then your headache is going to be alleviated. However, if your headaches are tied to something bigger than just having a headache, it may be a spiritual work that you do or some healing work or some type of awareness or awakening. If you let the energy of this plant know, here's why I'm taking this, why I'm utilizing or collaborating with you, here's what I hope to accomplish, here's the clarity that I'm looking for. Now you're going to automatically get the benefits of working with plant or spirit, but then you can also get an added benefit of getting exactly what you're hoping to accomplish. Okay, so that is why setting your intentions is so necessary with everything that you do, especially again if it's spell work, healing work, spiritual work or working with the elements. So let's talk about some ways outside of the norm or that may come to the first thought about how you can set your intentions. When we're working with spirit and plants, definitely if you are working with plant medicine or herbs or things like that, every herb pretty much is medicinal, which means it has qualities that will help you heal some aspects of yourself. However, plants also have spiritual healing properties. So if you are taking a plant or plant medicine or plant remedy or using it even in spell work, it's going to have something that it's automatically doing. By setting your intention, you're telling this plant, so here's exactly what I want you to help me with, or this is the benefit that I'm looking for by utilizing it. Another thing that is really important to set intentions to is like when you're working with tarot or intuitive guidance. As a intuitive healer and reader, lots of times people are like, oh, well, just tell me whatever comes up, or I kind of want to know about career. And I often tell people, like, well, what do you want to know? Like, do you want to know, like, what's going on, the people that work in the two cubicles over? Are you trying to figure out if you have a choice between two jobs? Are you trying to figure out what skill? It just goes on and on. Something specific or useful or meaningful. If you let me know that when I go and look for intuitive guidance for you, I can focus my energy and my intuition on pulling out that exact information that you're looking for. Similarly, you can do that same thing when you work with spirit, whether it's tarot cards, whether it's meditating and receiving messages. Even if you're just praying, talking to your ancestors, be very specific on what you need help with, what guidance you're looking for, or what your end goal is, so that when you receive that information, when you receive that guidance, to look for it, or you can recognize it when it shows up. Even do it when you are using like crystals and things like that. Again, every crystal has a vibrational energy. So it's going to connect with what it's automatically supposed to connect with. But if you set an intention for that crystal, you're letting it very specifically know what you wanted to do now. And you can change your intentions, right? What you need help with today or what you need to know today could change tomorrow or next week. So you can clear your intentions and reset them every time you use one of these spiritual energies or working with the energy of nature. So please do always set your intention when you're working with spirit and nature. You can also set your intention when you are doing specific things. And we're used to doing this anyway. You wake up in the morning and you can set your intention for the day. You have a big meeting. You can set your intention on what you hope to accomplish in this meeting or in this interaction. Setting your intentions is also really good at shifting your own energy. So if you are kind of down in the dumps and you're like, I don't want to feel like this anymore, I'm going to set an intention right now, so that when I find myself maybe getting down in the dumps or thinking about something that isn't really helpful, I can remind myself on what I really want to accomplish, what my end goal really is. This is also really helpful when you're doing something that you may not want to do. If you set an intention, that can help you remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. So you can focus less on the unhappy or displeasing part of the task, of the process, of the interaction, and focus on why this is important, what I'm hoping to gain, or improve, even though it may not feel good right now. All right, guys, I really hope that this is helpful, and I encourage you to find ways in your day-to-day life to set intentions for everything that you do, and then notice the difference that setting your intention makes.